And welcome to the live stream there. I'm not going to do that voice for an hour, sorry guys. Welcome to the first layer, the show where we explore all the world of 3D printing. This is our weekly show, Ask for Help, where you can go ahead and ask your questions in the chat, and we will do our best to answer them on the spot as quick as we can. Now, eventually here we are going to have Richard joining us here. He is out probably about, 1,200 kilometers to the west of us in my lovely homeland of Victoria. So he will be joining us as soon as possible, but in the meantime, I think we're just going to have a little bit of a solo show here. What I've been learning today, apparently, is that I'm very left-eye dominant because I'm having a hard time keeping my eye right on that camera. I just realized I'm probably coming in pretty hot here, guys, so sorry about that. Just, mic rig getting it all reset up after all this time here. Let's see what we got here. Sorry, I'm using the StreamYard list here, so if I missed you, it's because you haven't written a message yet in the chat, so we'd love to see your chats today. We have Anne Minema, I haven't seen you in a while there. Dennis Kelly, The Scarecrow, Pierre, Gwenter Hele, hopefully I got that right. Claus, Gary T, Accord XTC, Ben Brady, Peter Reynolds, everybody's out today. Happy Halloween, everybody. Obviously, I don't have the prettiest eyepiece here. Is the audio really bad, guys? Let me just check and make sure it's using the right microphone here. Stand by 1 second. Oh, no it's not. Sorry about that.
There we go. That's the right mic. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just getting this all set back up. Yeah, Ben, you're talking about switching it to the other. I tried it. It was way worse. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. Audio issues. This is what happens when you reset up your browser on the fly. So hopefully this is a bit cleaner audio now. Let me know. Perfect. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate the update on that. Sorry, I got this webcam. For those of you who didn't know, I bought like this nice little 4K camera that allows me to, do all sorts of zooming and manual focus and all that good stuff. But yeah, I guess it also has a built-in mic, and I also upgraded to Windows 11, which has been a headache. Please don't upgrade until you guys are ready. Even I'm finding a lot of bugs with an IS background and all that. So it works, but you have to spend a lot of time tweaking on it. But Cura works, Prusa Slicer works, so luckily there's no compatibility issues there. Has some audio crackling. Let me just make sure. I don't have echo cancellation, so hopefully it's a bit better. If it is still crackling, sorry guys, it's oh, you know what? Hang on. I'm going to be terrible here. Just give me like 30 seconds to unplug a few things. So in the meantime here, why don't you guys quickly update me? What are you printing for this Halloween there? I personally did try to print a few things, but I have to spend some love and passionate time with my poor printer. It needs a hug. Okay, so hopefully we're not peaking anymore, but I'm just going to power cycle this. So apologies, hopefully it comes right back up for us. Okay, hopefully that is better. Sorry, this audio device I have is not great either. I got to reset up my whole infrastructure since I was away for a while. Alright, so hopefully, audio issues aside here, Ben Brady printing the haunted candle. Ooh, that sounds intriguing. My next kind of 3D print for Halloween, if you will, is some Haunted Mansion stuff. If you guys have ever been down to Disneyland, they actually have, the Haunted Mansion has a lot of history with Disney, and one of the things they have online is this beautiful plaque of the Haunted Mansion. I'd love to, set it up in different backdrops and all that, but it works. Oh, you can see Roscoe moving behind me here. Welcome to the joy of having a nice camera. Alright, thank you for confirming the audio, guys, there. I could give you the whole story about my audio, but I just reset up the other day with a really nice audio interface, but it started having issues like this before, and that's why I had to switch it up. But until we have time to hook up the mixer, maybe by next week. In the meantime here, it sounds like I'm the only person having 3D printing issues this week, because you guys aren't asking too many questions yet. I know Claus was going to mention something. Oh, Dominic, great question. I'm going to throw this one up on the screen here. Great question, actually. I just found out about this just the other day, and I almost went and ordered one, but I just couldn't justify it right at that moment. So, here's the story. So, Raspberry Pi Foundation, finally, after all this time, has brought out a new version of the Pi Zero. And actually, I think I have the previous iteration on my desk. I do, right here. So, here is the Pi Zero. Let's see if I can give you a little bit of clarity on that board there. Once I figure, there they are. It's a very sensitive manual focus, just so you're aware. Come on, there we go. No, there we go. Yeah, so this is the Pi Zero. Now this Pi here, it's been out for a couple of generations, and it's always been a low power equivalent. It's been a great device for just for kind of little IoT projects. Now the problem inherently was that it was a little underpowered for what it did. So it only had a single core processor, which when you get into like Octopi and all these Clipper things, it starts to saturate a bit. So people were going for the full size Pis, but you didn't necessarily need that. So the new version of the Pi Zero actually is upgraded to the quad core processor finally, making it a very viable application for your 3D printers because it's compact and it cuts out a lot of the I/O that you don't generally need. So what we ended up doing, they're about $18 Canadian right now, which is not bad, except the only person that sells it wants $12 shipping, so now we're talking $30. You know, it's tempting to go up to a regular Pi. But for the compact size, especially if you aren't running a camera, for instance, I think it might be the next good Octopi equivalent, if you will, and I think it's actually going to raise the stakes a little bit for people to develop boards that you can just drop one of these Pi Zero Ws in there. So it has wireless built in, it has Bluetooth built in, it's got the quad core processor with, I think it's 1 gig of RAM at that price, which is more than enough you'd ever need for this application. So the only time I'd say not to go this route is if you have a, if you already have a Pi, or if you want to do more advanced things like run multiple printers. I think this is going to be a great little board. I just haven't jumped on it yet, but I think I might have to. Hopefully that answers your question. Now, bear in mind, since it did just come out, there's probably not going to be a distribution of Octopi quite yet. You might have to wait a couple weeks, so just factor that into your purchasing decision. But for the price point, for the processing power you need, I think this is going to outright replace the need for that. So it looks like we just have Richard coming in here. I'm going to try and see if this works. Let's see here. Oh, and we've got a couple guys here. Hang on. Let's bring them on in. Hello, everybody. Good morning.
We made it. We made it.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Holy smokes, Alvin. It's been so long. You're starting to look like Robin Williams in Jumanji there. What year is it?
What? It's been a while. We've just been so busy. I haven't cut my hair since like.
I'm hiding most of mine, so I hear ya. You know.
Nice to see you. My Halloween get-up.
Thank you. It was I was like, oh man, I have no Halloween stuff, and then I realized I had an eye patch. And so I was trying to find a bandana around the house. I couldn't do it, so I cut up some fabric. So we got the Captain Kirk, and so I'll be a space pirate for the day.
Yeah, it looks good.
So, yeah. So that's what it is. Here, I'll bring you guys full screen because I think I see a little something in front of you there. Let's see if I can feature you. There you go.
You do. You do.
Oh yeah. We brought on a whole bunch of our new colors today and our new spools, and thought we'd do some show and tell. It's in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I heard about your midnight filament run there.
Working hard on trying to. Yeah, that was yesterday. That was it was quite the experience. We were troubleshooting for most of the day, and then late last night we finally got the line very well. So we were able to shoot off a whole bunch of production. But which meant we didn't get out to dinner until like 10. So,
Was it 10? I thought it was a little later than that.
yeah, might have been. Yeah.
I know we didn't get into bed till 2.
Yeah.
And not together.
Well, he would want that. But.
Yeah, I've had late nights like that. You're gonna have to run all the exotic colors late at night.
Yeah,
Hey, Brian,
exactly.
can you turn on the echo canceling?
Yeah, I just turned it on. Hopefully it's better for everyone. Sorry, I don't have the feed up on another one. Worst case, I can hook up my headphones here, but I've just, you know what? Actually, fine. I'll break my character, and now we'll have some headphones on. All right.
There we go.
There we go. That should be much
There we
better.
go.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm a little.
Everyone out there?
We're time delayed, so you go ahead, Richard.
Sound much better. Hello to everyone this morning. I apologize for being late. Technical difficulties with a laptop, dual core, and has 4 gigs of RAM. So if we're a little choppy today, I apologize. But I am here in lovely Victoria, British Columbia with Aman and Gerdeman from Matter 3D. We spent yesterday playing and having fun and doing a lot of great stuff. And I got to do a lot of B-roll behind the scenes. You guys are going to see this in another couple of weeks. I'm a little bit behind on the schedule right now, but we'll get that all sorted out for you. And you'll get all the new episodes. We've got the episode Resin coming up, kind of the primer. And I'm just going to kind of quick basics. We've got how your filament's made from Matter 3D, all the film that we've been doing here or so. Now, I want to ask you guys something, because you guys have something special to those that are watching today, right?
Yeah. So we wanted to be first layer members an exclusive first chance at our new colors. They aren't even on the website yet, but we're giving it 20% down. So one word without any over 30 over color. Just the member are green. They're not on the website, but if you order just the just either at abaines at matter3d.com or start at matter3d.com. We will be able to do that. We have them available in our cardboard spools. This is the blue patchy. We're making a white patchy. So yeah, it's TL20. It's going to support us, and we're really working hard over the next couple of months to try to get all of our new colors out. We have a whole bunch of composites coming out with our new machine. We have our carbon fibers, the PLA carbon fibers that are going to be coming out.
Okay.
And PLA patchy, we're really working towards.
Hang on a second, guys. Sorry, we are having a lot of latency issues, so it's all chopping out on our side here. Apologies for that, guys. I know we're trying to give you the whole spiel here. Sorry about that. Yeah, we're just sorry about that, Tim. We're just kind of working on it here. Richard, yeah, if you can drop the video call, but even drop out the camera maybe just temporarily so we can get it through. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, what Aman was saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, it was TFL 20 for 20% off your order. Is that correct?
All one word. They're not on the website, so we're available. Have an orange available.
Okay, let's see. I think I've almost completely lost you guys there. Apologies for that, Richard. Yeah, can you just turn off the camera for one moment? Sorry, guys. Welcome to Victoria, where the internet is not plentiful.
Yeah, we're on an island.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, it's the best. Yeah, Richard, if you can just hit stop cam at the bottom, it might help just for now to just so we can get the audio coming through clear just for a little bit there. Sorry, Alman, I kind of heard bits and pieces of your whole speech there. But yes, TFL 20% off, and these new cardboard reels. I haven't held one in my hand yet, but oh, they look nice.
Yeah,
right,
yeah. Well, we have a domestic supplier for these. We put them together in our own shop. We really want to move away slowly from the plastic spools and get into the cardboard. But how some of our higher end materials, like the carbon fibers, we won't be able to put in the cardboard because they're too abrasive.
Gotcha.
And they'll have fibers that get stuck to them, and they'll jam up your 3D printer, right? So we keep those on the plastic spool. Can you hear us better now?
Oh yeah, you're coming through crystal clear now. Yeah, we must have just we're making some old internet jokes over there at the same time, but
I can give my spiel again.
Yeah, give your spiel again.
Yeah, I don't think they can actually see us anymore, but so exclusive to TFL members only, and that's why it's not on our website yet. We have our new colors, the brown, green, and orange available. They will be shipped out at the end of this week. They're on sale for with the code TFL20, 20% off your purchase, free shipping over $35 across North America. And yeah, we would love for you guys to be able to support us. Over the next couple of months, we are working hard to get a whole bunch of new colors and materials out. The composites, the PLA composites, ABS composite, PETG composites. And one of the ones we're really focusing on for the home hobbyist is the matte colors, the PLA matte, the PETG matte, and we really want to get the Christmas colors out. So the greens, the reds, the whites, the blacks, the yellows. They'll be available over the next couple of weeks. We have our new double screw extruder. We have all of our raw materials that we need, and now we also have our formulations. We just got to do it now.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what we'll be working on.
And we're going to hide something in for you guys that are our members. We're going to do that today. We said we'd take down some special stickers, and I will go ahead and autograph a couple of rolls that are being made today for you guys, and they'll be exclusively for you guys.
Yeah. So I think Tim was asking you to say the colors again. We will have a green, brown, orange. We have a PETG blue. Today we're making a PETG white. And I think I already said orange.
Yeah.
But so those are new colors along with the normals. Like we have the purple, the blue,
the red,
white, and the black, white, and gray. Yeah.
No, it sounds awesome, guys. And apologies if I butt in here. I know we have to give little air gaps with our transition or timing delay here. And I think, Gerdeman, is this your inaugural joining of the live stream? I'm trying to recall if you'd been on a previous one.
No, this is.
It's his first one, yeah.
I was wondering, yeah, actually, so maybe, you know what, Richard, if you can try turning on the camera once more, I think you can set under advanced settings for the camera to only do like 360p, and maybe we can get the video through.
I've already done that.
Oh, okay. So we just have terrible internet here. For those of you who don't know, Gerdman is the other partner in the production of Matter 3D here. He's kind of he's Mr. Mechanical that hides in the back end like I normally do here. So although Alman's the main champion here that we see day to day here, Gerdman's really the man behind the magic.
Well, as Richard saw yesterday, the operation wouldn't work without Gerdeman. Gerdeman is the key cog in the operation. It's all about how we work together, and I think make a pretty good team.
Yeah, it's all about the teamwork,
right? And with the other two people in our team that aren't here is Frank, my old postdoc supervisor, and Stephanie's master supervisor, and of course my wife Stephanie. She's a key part in all of this, if not the keyest part.
And Frank was there all day yesterday.
Yeah, helping us troubleshoot and getting through all those problems, right? But I don't know if they came through with my audio earlier, but I wanted to say the colors are not available on the website yet because they're exclusive only to TFL members for today at that discount. So if you want to buy anything, just go to the website, buy any color, natural or white in the PLA. and just send me an email at abaines@matter3d.com or support@matter3d.com or info@matter3d.com. All of those emails, we all get them all, and we'd be able to help you out. Yeah, just wanted to reiterate that.
abaines@matter3d.com, right there.
Yeah.
There we go. So this is a great opportunity for our audience. This is a great opportunity for our audience now to ask questions related to filament. We've got two experts right here in the room. Let's talk a little bit about filament, how it's made, and let's find out what you guys want to know about how filament's made, what goes into it. Here's the kicker that I found out yesterday. I'm going to give you an advanced spoiler, is that they mix their own color right in-house.
Oh yeah. We produce scratch. We're not like any. There's a couple of companies now that have started up in Canada. We're very different from them in the fact that we specialize in the material side.
Right.
So we make all of our own materials. Nothing is off the shelf except for the raw resin, because of course we don't have a multi-billion-dollar facility to make massive amounts of resin, right?
You'll get there.
Oh wow. But everything else we make ourselves. We compound it all ourselves. So the entire quality control chain is controlled by us. So if you guys literally have any suggestions, you want any changes, it's as easy as saying, Amin, can you do this for us? And most likely we can.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's really what sets us apart.
And Richard saw the compounding happening yesterday.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
We got some footage of that yesterday.
that machine's a beast. Hey?
Boy,
Oh yeah, I
I
think you guys saw pictures of it 2 weeks ago when it was coming off the truck. But it was looks like a locomotive.
DeWitt 3D is asking, do you make custom colors, and if so, what's the minimum spool order?
Yeah, we do make custom colors. So we match to Pantones. If you give us a Pantone number, we will be able to match the wavelength of light that comes out and match it exactly. Our MOQ, our minimum order quantity, is 20 kilos, and we do have a small color match fee. However, if you buy in high volumes, 50 to 100 kilos, we can get rid of that in the color match fee. But and turnaround times are 2 to 3 weeks.
Snapshot FPV is our next one. He says, do you know of any way to smooth your PLA like you can vapor smooth ABS?
Yeah, so there are a couple ways. Thing with ABS is you can it's soluble in acetone, and acetone is an off the shelf like a nail polish remover. You can get it anywhere, right?
Yep.
So there's a material or a solvent called dichloromethane. DCM is the trade name that it goes by. It can do the same thing that acetone can do to ABS. However, the problem with DCM, and the reason why not many people talk about it other than chemists, is it's very carcinogenic. It's a controlled substance and it's hard to find. But if you can get it, it does the job.
There you go.
That's why I think a lot of people resort to PLA and the sanding and the filling, right? Because the chemical way is just a little bit more tricky and dangerous.
There you go. Next one.
I'm going to just real quick before I shoot myself in the foot with this one here, I'm just going to turn back on my camera and solo over here. Talking about Matter 3D particular with a PLA, and I apologize for the crop. I was trying to drop the video quality for Richard. This Gandalf I've got here in front of me, I've been, I had a bit of rough issues with this printer, but this was smoothed with Matter 3D PLA. And do you know how it was smoothed? I threw it into a pot of boiling water in the kitchen. And after 10, 15 minutes, it started to create minor changes in it. It didn't melt like you would expect with a traditional PLA. And this is one of the reasons we love Matter 3D filament, is at the end of the day, this is after throwing Gandalf into a boiling pot of water. And probably if I had left it for an hour, maybe it would have started to goop down. But because this specific PLA, and Amin, you can probably quote the exact type of pellets we're using, that particular plastic has a much better temperature tolerance, and it melts at a higher point than your cheap traditional PLAs. Yeah, well, the material we use is the NatureWorks 3D850. It's known for its high crystallinity. It's like 99% crystalline, and
That is what gives it its mechanical properties. And when you boil it, you're not only smoothing it out a little bit, because what you're seeing is micro swelling around the surface or the interface between the water and the material, but you're also annealing it and you're making it much, much stronger. If you take that piece before and after you boil it and just hit it against your head, it's going to sound really, really different, right? Like,
well, have you ever heard anything knocked against his head?
Well, it's not.
It's a huge, huge difference.
I was going to say mine sounds pretty hollow, but
yeah, I was going to say it's a.
No, but yeah, no, it's that's the secret with this material, and it's as easy as just boiling it in water. Yeah, but.
So our next question is, do you use air or water cooling on your filament, active or passive? This is from clause 61821.
Yeah, that's a great question. So it depends on what filament we're making. Without giving away too many trade secrets, it depends on the heat capacity of the material. And if your heat capacity is quite high, you can use water cooling, which is what we do. It's active water cooling. So we heat up the water to a specific temperature to make sure the material as it comes out of the extruder maintains its diametric tolerances. But other materials that have lower heat capacities or filled with matte fibers or other kind of fibers, we use air cooling just because that way it doesn't collapse on itself. So it really depends on the material. We use both, and it's all active.
There you go. Hawks, this is, I do not know if this question was asked, but is there a chance in the future that you'll make silk PLA?
Yeah, so we've had a lot of requests for silk PLA. The order of operations for us right now is matte and then silk.
Gotcha.
Actually, the reason why silk is second is because silk is easier to make than matte and it's less time consuming. So we wanted to do the formulation for the mattes before Christmas and get those out, and then we'll work on the silks. But the silks, yeah, it's on our to-do list.
There you go.
So maybe just kind of building on that question a little bit, because I'm genuinely curious myself. What makes a PLA silk? What kind of properties do you have to look into if you're changing, say, a standard roll of PLA? You want to make a silk batch. What's the main difference?
Yeah, so we're not really changing the material. We're changing the optical properties of the material, so the way we perceive it. And there's a couple of additives that we have that we can introduce or infuse into the material that will give it that look.
Give it that sheen and texture.
It's the same with the matte. We're not really changing the material. We're just changing the optical properties of the material, just so that it refracts and diffracts light in a different way, just so that when you see it, it gives you the desired look that you're looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, from my experience now being in their operation and seeing it from the beginning right through to the packaging, I can tell you from what I saw yesterday, without giving anything really spoiler away, that these guys have developed a real tight QC. So when you guys are getting this, you can know that there may have been, a couple of rolls that came off first that weren't quite up to snuff. They don't get packaged. They go into another section that material, I assume, will get reused at some point.
So the reason why we're so comfortable with our QC and being so rigid with our specifications is because, as you saw yesterday, we don't waste any material. Our garbage out of our shop is minimal. It's less than what I have in my house, because all the materials that we take, we throw them into bins that are labeled and segregated depending on the material, and we recycle it all. We have a recycling machine. The double screw compounder that we have allows us to recycle, allows us to do whatever we want with the material. So we have very little waste. Like, for example, when we were making the petchi, we must have, as we were troubleshooting, 20 or 30 kilos easily that we discarded. We were like, we can't use this. And to get about 50 kilos of this, like we almost wasted half. But it's not a waste, because what we're going to do is we're going to pelletize it back down and just re-extrude it, because it's virgin great material. It hasn't been used.
Yeah, it hasn't been used.
Why throw that out?
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas other companies would have to throw that out, or to save that money, they might give suspect material out. The other thing that we do is all of our material now is digitally recorded. You saw that yesterday. So all of our tolerances, everything is digitally recorded, and to our distributors, we provide all of the data up front, and to any of the customers now, all the spools have serial numbers on them. So you can just email in and say, hey, I was having a problem with this spool. This is the serial number. Can you look into it? And we can send you all the data and say, oh, maybe there was a problem, or help you troubleshoot it, right?
There you go.
And it's all real-time data too.
Yeah, it does it.
I saw that yesterday.
It does it at 60 hertz, right? Like it's very quick.
Yeah.
How it does it, yeah.
Now, what I noticed yesterday, and this is, I don't think it's a trade secret, is when the material is coming out to go to actually being rolled onto the spools, what I saw yesterday was it not only goes through a laser micrometer so that it can tell you what the diameter of the material is, but they have a second micrometer on the other side of that, which guarantees that they're getting the right thickness. So the tolerance up and down, while it may be labeled 0.05 up or down, what I was seeing yesterday, it wasn't swinging more than about 2.
Oh,
like
0.02.
Yeah, 0.02, 20 microns.
20
Yeah,
microns.
20 microns.
Yeah. So the reason why we do that is we have a 5-axis laser that measures it from the sides, and then we have a calibrated digital caliper.
Right.
And that caliper is calibrated to be accurate. So what we do is not only do we measure it from the sides, so the cross section, but we do the top and the bottom, and that's what's recorded. And the way the machines run is we can tell if there's any impurity or discontinuity or any problem with the filament, it's going to affect the Z-axis, and we can tell instantly.
And then we take the roll out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's thrown into the discard pile, and we unspool them. We have a machine that we use. We don't do it by hand. We unspool them and pelletize them, and we use them again.
There you go. Here's a great question from Tim over at the Wet 3D. He says, are you planning a QR or barcode type system for tolerance tracking, and what target tolerance do you shoot for? And this is what we were just talking about. You guys are putting those serial numbers on.
Yeah,
now.
so we're not to the point, we're progressing slowly. We're not to the point where we have a QR code available right now, but what we have done is the next best thing, which is we have individualized serial codes for each spool coming off the line.
Right.
So every spool has a unique number. It's written on the spool with a sticker. If you have any questions, you just send me an email at any of our emails with the serial number, and we'd be able to look up the data for you.
You got to remember, these guys aren't webmasters day in and day out, so they got to get somebody to develop a whole infrastructure. So the data's there. I think that's what I understand. The data is there, but it's not an automated website form quite yet.
Not yet. But to answer Tim's other question about the target tolerance, on our website we label it as plus or minus 0.05, around 1.75. But in reality, what it is 1.7, between 1.74 and 1.76.
Yeah, and I can verify that because I saw it yesterday.
Well, you don't need to. It's all digitally recorded. We can send it to you.
But for our audience that knows me, yes, it is true. I stood there and watched it for an hour. So I know.
And that's not, kind of build on that. Honestly, a lot of companies, even 0.05 for 3D printing is usually quite acceptable. It won't get you the best print in the world, but it'll go through Bowden tubes. And I've only seen one brand that spun outside of that, and that was Amazon. And it almost wrecked my machine. But that being said, the reason why these tolerances are so important, and we haven't gone through a major video about this, is that your extruder moves filament assuming a certain diameter for the flow rates. And if you have lots of major oscillations in that reel, although it'll feed through the machine, it's going to try and push different amounts through your extruder as it prints, which results in an uneven, dirty surface, which may appear as layer skips or as blobbing. And it's very hard to diagnose at times, especially if you've had a lot of mods on your printer and factors to rule out. So having that 0.02 coming off these reels is excellent, and soon enough you'll be able to go and load up a chart to visually see, hey, my whole reel is going to be this consistent, and when it comes to printing your big prints, you want that consistency.
I agree 100%. And I think that with Matter 3D, we finally found a material that we can all use. Yes, you got to print it a little hotter, but that's because of the way that it's manufactured, because it uses such a high concentration of raw material, as opposed to some of the other companies out there. And I'm not going to name names because, you know, we don't slam anybody on this show, but some of the lower priced filaments on the market have additives, have fillers. So you're not getting that genuine pure resin material. You're getting something that has, you know, may have some bits from something that's been recycled, or may have some bits from something that's already been processed and been sitting on the floor for 6 months. But now you've got an actual material here, and from me using it for as long now as I have, I can verify that this material will always give you consistent results, will always print great. And, you know, it's just a matter of how you dial in your machine and what printers temperatures you're using. And I found in my studio and my lab that we print this right around, like your PLA, we print right around 210, 215. Sometimes we go up to 220 based on, you know, depending on the color. White is one of those materials that has to be printed hotter. And that, for anybody that doesn't know, the reason that white has to be printed hotter is because it doesn't retain heat. So you have to print that hotter. And I've noticed that not only to be true with PLA, but also with ABS and with PETG. So,
but that being said, you know, this is probably the first filament we've been able to work with that we can set a material profile in our slicer and not have to adjust it when we switch reels of the same color. And that's one of the big things that we want to try to push for you guys is, you know, cheap PLA, it can be fine at times. But if you look at your time, if you have to go and recalibrate your settings every time you change a reel, that adds up in time. And I don't know how much your time is worth. But for me, just, you know, to pay a little bit over, you know, the cheapest prices on the market to get that little extra bit of quality, especially for those of you who print in large volumes, it's nice to have a set it and forget it brand. And Matter 3D is really the best I've come across that when it comes down to batch consistency. And it's because you've got two passionate engineers here, both with their skills and disciplines, that are actually able and interested in producing a quality product that is repeatable batch to batch. So I'm kind of sucking up a little bit, brown nosing here and all, but you know, it's great material, and it's why we swear by it. It's not, you know, they're not sending us big checks every month. Let's put it that way. In fact, I don't think I'm getting any checks from them, but at the same time, the material really does pay for itself. And you know, this is just a straight up testimony. I highly encourage you to take advantage of these sales right now. TFL 20 at 20% off for the weekend for members. And if you're looking for those exclusive colors, you'll find the email in the chat here. Order any color and then just email abaines@matter3d.com or info@matter3d.com. Mention your order number and which color you want, and they'll get it out. And sorry, Amin, can you repeat the shipping deals you have right now? I think we missed that earlier.
It's free shipping over $35 across North America. Fairly simple.
Yeah.
So guys, that order 2 reels and you got free shipping. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Now, Peter Reynolds is asking, is that blue available now? The blue has actually been available for a while. I just don't think it's been up on the website.
Oh,
yet.
no, it's on the website.
It's
It's under Pet G. It's only our only Pet G offering right now. Actually, today we're going to put up our Pet G white after we
make it.
We make it. Yeah, we're doing a big production run after the show about that. But that'll be up. I also wanted to mention, you were talking about members that do a lot of their own 3D printing, or maybe have a 3D printing business. We cater to businesses. Our biggest stream is business to business. So we have lots of wholesale prices, very attractive prices, and we ship all across North America. We have clients even in Europe now. So yeah, give us if you want. We have very attractive prices that are not obviously on our website because they're not wholesale prices on our website. But give us a shout, and we would love to work with you.
There you go. There was another question here from TK's 3D Prints. He says, mother of pearl micro powders. Will you do a mother of pearl style at some point? And what I saw yesterday when you were mixing up the PETG with the white micro powder to get that color in there, that was fascinating, by the way. it's like playing in sand.
I could shoot B-roll for days of mixing colors into things. You know, I'd love to see you play a chameleon color myself, but I don't know about the complexities of that. So,
but you know, that is available at some point. I don't think you guys are making a mother of pearl filament just yet.
No, not yet. That's not on our list of things to do. We honestly haven't even thought about it.
Yeah.
But maybe.
just order 100 kilos. Problem solved.
Yeah.
When are you guys going to have more ABS colors?
So actually, we have them now. We just have not. We've been so busy with production and dealing with distributors that we have not put anything on our website, which is, you know, that's our bad. We failed at that. But yeah, every one of our PLA colors are also available in ABS.
Okay,
So
that's good to know.
if you want today, you can order on the sale the ABS. We have red, blue, black, gray, white, green. They're all
Brown,
purple.
purple.
They're all available.
Some purple.
Oh yeah, this is
right
a purple.
over
This is a PLA purple though, but this is a purple right here.
That's the purple we've been showing off on the show for. The
I
last
think
couple of
we might have even shipped a few out to one of your
natural
customers.
PLA.
Oh, this is our natural. This is what you could really tell. I really like printing or extruding our natural because you can tell how good we are, how good the QC is.
Mhm, yeah, absolutely.
Because there's nothing in here. Look at that. There's no black specks, anything. It's hard to see on the camera.
yeah,
but
it's hard to see, but I can tell you just by looking at this, there's no air bubbles.
Does the natural come in as the transparent? Because I believe that when we did the first batch of that transparent, I posted some photos on the Facebook group and you guys can check it out. It was crystal clear. If not for my extruder having some issues, you'd actually almost think it was resin poured. It was that clear. So yeah, the natural, please guys, try the natural. The Scarecrow asking about the orange PLA. I think we kind of covered this already. It's available, just not on the website, correct?
Right.
Yeah. So give us just buy, if you want to try it, buy any of the PLA colors and just send us an email and we'll be able to send out that orange.
And if you guys are local to Calgary, Airdrie, or Okotoks, we do have some of their PLA in stock at my place. So we can help you guys out any way that you need to. We can deliver it to you locally, so you kind of save on that shipping if you're just getting one roll. So you know, it's Brian lives in Okotoks. I live up to the north end of Calgary, so it's easy for me to get to Airdrie, but we'll deliver it wherever we have to deliver it in the city.
Yeah, and this is a great opportunity to plug some of our distributors, I think.
Yes.
We have just across Canada now. We have Industrial Paints and Plastics in Victoria, and they have branches in Nanaimo, Kelowna, Calgary, even Kamloops. We have Rip Rap Warehouse in Edmonton. We have Solar Botics and Richard in Calgary. We have Omni Rapid Prototyping in Saskatoon. And we have one coming on in Winnipeg. I can't announce it yet. And we have a big one coming on in Eastern Canada.
In Ontario.
Hamilton, hint, hint. That's starting up with us very soon. We're shipping out half a ton of material tomorrow to them. So yeah, you heard that right. Half a ton. Yeah, that's a big one coming on. And of course, our website.
Yeah, exactly. And I will be here today photographing a bunch of this new material for their website. We're going to update a lot of their pictures, get them all done, and leave them behind so that they can do whatever they need to do with them. And I'm going to steal them too, because we're going to update our website with all the new photos so they look almost identical.
Yeah.
I've already stolen your description.
And sorry to all the Calgary friends, but it's actually more expensive for us to get another checked bag for Richard to load it up with filament he steals off the line. So we're going to have to wait for it to be shipped out.
Sorry. I am going to try and sneak some home tomorrow. But if I am able to do that, it'll only be the purple for those people that have already pre-purchased the purple.
Yeah, we were pretty good in that we got the purple and then we ended up selling it all. We actually didn't even get to use it ourselves that much. Richard has a roll. I haven't got a roll yet, but
it's been actually we've been lucky because we make our own color that we don't have to worry about too much about the supply chain because it's all in-house. But getting raw resin has been incredibly difficult.
Really?
Oh yeah, we've had I think I have 3 or 4 boxes of PLA somewhere on the road for the last month that were supposed to be here 2 weeks ago, and we're missing out on orders because of that.
And that comes directly from the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
This is something that I want to stress to you guys, is that their material is not sourced overseas. It is sourced right here in North America. You guys use a high quality NatureWorks product.
Yeah, we're one of 3 licensed companies in Canada, 3 or 4 that can use NatureWorks. Ingeo, yeah. We use the 3D 850. We also use the 4043. We actually have made a proprietary blend of our own. Then that's what this is, and that's why. If you've noticed when we first introduced our materials, they were a little bit, well, not a little bit, they were very brittle.
Right.
And now that's changed. And that's because we've updated the formulation a little bit just to make that little tweak in it, so that it's, it's always a tug of war between engineering materials and printability.
Right.
Right. We had the needle way over towards the engineering side and didn't really cater to the printability side at all. And over the last 6 months or so, we've tried to move that a little bit back towards the printability just to make it a little bit easier, right?
Cool.
So really quick, before I bring up the next question here, I got to say another reason I love your brand is because I love your CEO. Can we get a shot of Sir Captain?
He's laying down here on the floor beside me. Sorry.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, they also have a German Shepherd. So between Roscoe out here in Alberta, we heard him on the camera. So, so I'm sure he'd love to be on camera. But he's. If you've never seen the photo there, right down on actually how Amin and I kind of got in talks was I realized their photo was on Dallas Road in Victoria, and I grew up in Victoria, so I knew right away right where they were. So it was Amin, Gerdman, had Captain
Frank
there, and I think it was Frank and Stephanie was the whole. Yeah, so it was the whole crew there. So I'm still nudging them to maybe put Captain on the reels. What do you guys think? Do you think a dog theme is good for a company? I don't know. Just gonna bring up. I'm gonna bring up Snapshot's question because I know you've actually answered this for me already. Just asking. I bought several rolls, no problems at all, except some that the vacuum seal was broken. No idea why. And actually, you and I worked quite a bit on this, and you've got a resolution. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yeah. So what was happening was there were 2 things that were happening. One was a shipping issue. The way we were shipping the material was causing the vacuum seal to break. Mm-hmm. And the other was the spool itself. So the plastic spool is a little bit bigger, and we were setting the vacuum to be too tight. So what was happening was any touch or any crease in the bag itself would cause a tear.
Gotcha.
And it would rip. The cardboard spools have solved that problem. They're much tighter. They don't break, and we've changed the way we ship, so that stopped that too. But that being said, this is always a work in progress.
Yeah.
We're trying to learn and trying to optimize how we do things. So your feedback is greatly appreciated. So if you have thank you for letting me know. If you have any issues, just send me an email. We're very easygoing, and we can help you out. And then not only that, if we know that there's a problem, we can solve it, or at least try to solve it.
There you go. It's important when you have a startup, much like you guys are. You're still a startup.
Oh yeah.
In all reality, and you're able to offer a high quality product as just a little 4-person team, which is amazing because most people can't do that. And at the end of the day, it just shows your dedication not only to the product that you're making, but to the customer base that you're building.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. Thanks.
So Ben Brady here has a question. He says, do you guys at Matter 3D have 3D printers to actually print with their products? And I'm not going to answer this. I'm going to let you guys answer this.
Sure. First of all, Ben, nice to finally meet you meet you. I've seen you on Facebook quite a few times, and I've always wanted to say hi. So hi. Thank you for your question. And yes, we have a whole bunch of printers that are printing all the time with our materials. I'll actually tell you what we do. So we have 2 Modex printers that are 8 cubic feet with printing size. So they're 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet. They're massive. We have a Flash Forge. And then we also have an Ender 3. And what we do is while we're winding up filament as it's coming off the line, I will randomly pick out rolls and I'll throw them on the machines. And we have a test print that we do with all of them. And that takes up 95% of the roll. And the point there is to see, is it consistent? Are there any clogs? And if we do it randomly, we try to be able to pick out, just by happenstance, catch a bad one. And that's been a real key part of our QC, because if we can't print with our own product and test our own product, what are we really doing here, right? So
Exactly.
And also we try to print with the worst rolls that we.
Yeah, so like for example, because we can record our data and know what's happened, the history of our data of our extrusion. What I'll go through is I'll purposely try to pick out a roll that was maybe just a little bit outside of tolerance and print with it and see what does that really mean. For example, if we hit a 1.8 diameter, does that mean it's going to clog every time? We wanted to figure that out.
Sure.
So long story short, I try to pick out bad rolls and see what the worst case scenario really is and what would our end customer see. Yeah.
There you go. Next question. Is there any more? Nope. Brian, are you there? Oh, that got moved up. Oh, there you go. So he's putting a code at the bottom.
Sorry. I tried and I typed it wrong there. Yeah, no other questions here at the moment. Let's see. We're here.
All right. So I'm going to be back home tomorrow. For you guys that are wondering who's going to be drawn for our next giveaway, which should have been today, but of course I'm here and we couldn't get that all sorted out in time. But we will draw that in our next live episode, which is a week from today, our next Ask for Help live stream. We'll draw that name and we'll go from there. And there will be some really cool stuff in there. So the mystery boxes are going out for October here in another week. So those of you guys that won, Ben Brady won our last one. So Ben, just hang on, you will be getting yours. We're just going to try and batch them together because it's cheaper for me to batch them together when I go to send them out. So Mark L. Baker, can you make neon green PETG?
Yes, we could definitely make it. We don't.
But you haven't yet.
No,
yeah, you're not into the neon colors yet.
No, we haven't. Actually, I was just showing you the color palette yesterday.
You were.
We have literally any color to choose from. So short answer is yes, we can make it. Long answer is I don't know when we will make it.
Right.
To be honest, we're really pushing hard for mats and the composites in the next 2 months. That's our goal. So the new the broader array of colors will probably be something that we do in Q1 of 22.
Very cool. The journey that this is on reminds me very much of the original offerings of Arion. Because when Arion first kind of hit the North American market running, they only had a handful of colors and a handful of products. So you could get some PETG, you could get some ABS, you could get a little bit of PLA, but that's it. Yeah. And they had very limited colors. Now they hit the ground running with the silks, which was great, but
they're kind of known for their silks.
Yeah,
right?
they are. Yeah. But again, they are very high quality manufactured, just like you guys are. Difference for us as the first layers that we now can get it in Canada from a Canadian source, as opposed to getting it in Canada from a distributor that's ordering it overseas.
Yeah.
Or maybe just having a store on something like Amazon where it doesn't ship from Amazon, but it ships from China and you get it in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
The nice thing about the turnaround here, yes, you might have to wait an extra week to get it, but you can be sure that when you get this product right here, it was QC'd, it was overlooked from beginning to end, it was packaged well, and you guys end up with a fantastic product. I can't say enough good things about Matter 3D products at this stage. And as they grow, they are adding more colors. And as those that increased color palette comes out, you guys will see more. And, like any market, it's always going to depend on what happens with those colors. Is red and blue more popular than green and brown, for instance? Well, could be. We don't know yet. You know, these guys don't know yet.
Well, yeah,
Because you're still very young in your infancy,
learning, right?
as much as you're building that data.
Yeah.
So,
And I know something we haven't really talked much about with the material that you guys make, but you know, one of the reasons with you being in Victoria is, you know, you're talking about the recyclability of the materials, the biodegradable aspects, something that you wouldn't get with overseas brands. You know, knowing the purity here, we know exactly what's going into each reel. And just one kind of side comment here about these new cardboard reels. Now everything is recyclable. You don't have to go and find out something to do with those old reels and throw them in the landfill or whatever. These they look to be pretty sturdy, and as an added benefit, if there is any moisture in your reels, chances are it'll show on the cardboard as a visual thing if your reel was, you know, drowned in water versus plastics.
Well, if you see watermarks on your cardboard, that's not a moisture issue. That is some entirely other type of that should not be happening. But that being said, I wanted to say is that the other thing is we really stand behind our product. If you have any issues, feel free to contact me. Actually, I encourage you to contact me. Let me know, and most often than not, I'm going to send you a new reel because we want to learn what's happening. We want to make sure the customer experience is good, and we want to build that brand, right? We want to show that we really care and we're standing behind our brand. So if you have like a layer adhesion issue, or if you're having a moisture issue, it's rare. It's only happened a couple of times, but it has happened. So please let us know, and I will make it right for you.
There you go. Buying local benefits the Canadian economy. That's absolutely true. And we need all the help that we can get right here in Canada now. Keeping our money.
Answer that question too.
Yes, we'll get to snapshots here right away.
Yeah.
But yes, buy local. That's definitely the way to do it.
Snapshot. I wanted to say, so if you're having our material, the way it is optimized now should print without a glue stick. If you're having to print with the glue stick and it's still not adhering, depending on when we made that material, there might be a moisture issue. So please send me an email, and offline, I will help troubleshoot that with you. If we can't get it to work, I can send you a new reel.
So just to reiterate the question here, aside from normal troubleshooting steps and aside from glue stick, any suggestions for better bed adhesion for your PLA? Now, I can tell you, I use glue stick on everything. So, anytime I'm printing on glass, I use glue stick. Doesn't matter the material. That being said, with the beds that have the texture on them, you guys have all seen those. Creality has them. Everybody has them now. I find that the Matter 3D filament sticks to that, no problem. If you've got your offset from your nozzle to your bed set correctly, it's going to give you guys the best chance of adhesion, and you're going to end up with a fully fleshed out part at the end. And it's not going to curl on you. Here's the thing that a lot of people have a problem with, and that's curling or shrinking of the material. This material doesn't shrink like typical normal materials do. So if you've got that bed a little bit too hot, if you're up in the 70-degree area, I've printed it at 70 degrees, never had a warping issue whatsoever. And how you get warping is you've got too much cold air around your printer. This material, because it's made with a high quality raw resin, it doesn't shrink, and I can attest to that. So
yeah.
And
well,
go ahead.
I was going to say, that being said, it's to do with warping is to do with the change in temperature with time. And if you have a high heat capacity material like a PLA, it'll just in general warp less than a low heat capacity material like ABS.
Right.
But that being said, this 3D850 is designed specifically to warp even less, and that's because of its high crystallinity. It's not to do with anything else. It's just the high crystallinity and not having any additives like just fillers put into it.
Yeah,
that makes a big difference.
All right, what's our next question?
I don't think I got one up there. I know Max CJ was just talking about the PEI beds with no glue stick. It really does come down to the surface that you're printing on sometimes, regardless of the material. So, I mean, that being said, Amin, you can maybe speak more on your experience of approaching the glass transition temperature of your PLA. Like, do you keep your beds at 60? Do you run it a little bit warmer with your PLA?
So the glass transition temperature of our PLA, we actually did a DSC to figure this out. So that's differential scanning calorimetry. It's quite an intensive experiment that we did at UVic. We figured it was between 60 and 65. So if you're just above the TG, so I print at 65. I could also in that print really well. But between 60 and 80, it should work really well for you.
Accord XTC has a great one here. He says, I could personally say using M3D with my Ender 3 glass bed, I do not use any adhesion material. That's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
You know,
and you know the funny.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I was just gonna say with the key thing that people forget too is that even without touching it, you can sometimes change the properties of your printer bed just by pulling and removing prints, depending on, especially if you've added something like an oiler or something to your system. There are materials that can build up on your bed. So we do recommend, cleaning your bed every couple of prints or whenever you notice any change in your printing consistency, because unless your BL Touch, for instance, has terrible accuracy and your nozzle height's changing every print, you should get a consistent print batch to batch off your machines. And what we see often, whatnot, is people who get in there with their fingers trying to peel off filament that was maybe stuck to the bed. All that oil on your fingers is going to build up. So a clean build surface is the key to good adhesion. And then we get into temperatures and so forth. And that's why some of the early 3D printers could do PLA with no heated bed. You just used masking tape because it was enough for it to adhere to a small surface. But by adding the heat, you don't have to waste all that tape or redo your bed adhesion every single print. Richard, you've been using glue stick on glass for the longest of time, but that's because you also know how to texture it properly and when to clean it off and put fresh glue on there. Otherwise, over time, you smooth it off and you actually make the surface more smooth than the material underneath. Just bringing up Accord XTC here saying, every print I use rubbing alcohol to keep it clean. That's a great one.
Yeah. So it's like isopropanol?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Now, the concentration of isopropyl, does it matter with your filament in terms of that printing process? Like, can you do the 70 or should you have a higher concentration?
No, it doesn't matter. No. Short answer, no.
There you go.
Yeah.
What I found, at least in my experience, just so people can save a bit of money, I mean, obviously 99%, if it's the same price as 70%, buy it and then cut it with water. 99% isopropyl has such a low boiling point that it might evaporate off the bed before you even had a chance to remove the contaminants. So what I recommend people do at least is, have a bit of water in there. I don't know. You're probably going to tell me I'm completely wrong, but in my experience, I've found that having the water in there gives you some time to work it in and clean the surface, and then you can evaporate off that distilled water just by introducing a little heat to your bed.
Gregory Buddock says, I want to 3D print a life-size statue version of myself. First of all, that's artistic. How do I proceed? Well, you'll have to get a scan of yourself to start with. Then you're going to have to break that scan down so that you can make it into bite-sized chunks for your printer to be able to print it. Then you're going to have to reassemble it. That's a big undertaking, and we've talked about doing stuff like this for upcoming shows. I want to let you guys know that we are going to be at Maker Faire here in Calgary next year in May. We are going to be hopefully working with them behind the scenes, and we'll be hopefully having one of these guys there that weekend as well to talk about their filament and have a bunch of their filament on hand so that you guys can pick it up right there at Maker Faire.
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. I'd love to be there. The whole team.
Yeah, bring the whole team down.
Yeah.
I'm going to be
even captain.
There. Yeah.
Oh, don't tempt me. Then we'll definitely make sure it happens.
I will tell you guys right now, at least the venue for the upcoming one is better than the last venue because it was in a horse stable.
Wow.
This new one's at the BMO.
Oh, I see. Okay. That's a little bit better. Yeah. It's an upgrade.
So clause 61.821, he says, RO, distill, and filter using tap water, not in that order. One of the things that you can do if you want to clean out the contaminants from your tap water before you add it to isopropyl alcohol is just boil it. Boil it for 20 minutes or so. You want to get it to a vigorous boil and let it go. What that's going to do is it's going to burn off all of those additives that they put in our water, the chlorine, that sort of thing. And then it's great not only for plants, but you can add it like a distilled water right to your isopropyl alcohol. Or you can just go out and buy a 4 liter of distilled water for a couple bucks.
And again, mine's a little bit controversial too. I'll get a good degreaser soap because that's usually what it is finger grease and stuff on my bed. So I'll get it under the sink with warm water and kitchen soap and scrub it down. And then after that, do the isopropyl treatment just to remove any residues. Try to get like an unscented one. Anything with extra properties, you just basically want a natural degreaser. And I think some people use that Orange Clean, and we've used Simple Green. We use it on our resin stuff, for instance. You just got to make sure, especially when you're dealing with PEI sheets, that you're not using a chemical that can break down PEI. Otherwise, you're basically ruining your bed. Glass is nice and easy. Whatever you use on glass, if you use something like Windex, although it'll make it look clean, it also adds a sheen. So that's why, again, we go back to soap and water followed by isopropyl to clean it up.
Yeah, that's the best way to clean your beds anyway.
I was just going to quickly just put a little say PEI will not degrade. You don't need to worry about that. You can pretty much use any chemical. There's no household chemical that you have that will destroy it. And if you are destroying it, you don't have PEI because polyethylene amide, NASA uses it in the space station. Like this is high temperature, highly durable stuff. It's made by SABIC. It will not degrade. You don't have to worry about it.
There you go.
This is why I have the master consultants here. I'm just a lowly technologist. I didn't get a university degree or anything like that. So see, again, guys, even with Richard and my experience, all this long-term, we're learning something new every single week. And, Amin Gerdman and, Steph and everybody, all the support there, the knowledge they've shared with us and the things that we've learned alone from them on their process of making this material has been just game-changing. And so we love to have both of you on here and teach us more about materials because this is a developing industry. And I truly think we have some of the best process guys basically in front of us here. And so, everyone, I'd like to, give a thumbs up and thank Amin and Gerdman for being here today because I learn something new every time I talk with them here. And hopefully you guys have learned something too. Just wanted to quickly hop in. Just Dominic Versetto using ammonia. Can you even buy ammonia anymore up here in Canada?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's not.
I definitely have in the lab.
Yeah, I was gonna say you shouldn't be playing around with ammonia. Just so you know, I mean, it does work, but it's a very dangerous chemical if not handled properly. But that's why we try and go with the safer routes, things you can buy in a store comfortably and know that you're not going to basically off-gas yourself. Here's a great question from Snapshot FPV.
Here's a great question to round things out. Snapshot FPV is asking, are there any other products that you're considering besides filament, i.e. bed material or 3D printing products?
When we started, we were thinking along those lines.
Right.
Our core expertise is materials. We are really good at that. At the moment, we are focusing just on that. We are actually looking to move not away from filament, but introduce new product lines like the resin. Because with our new machines, we can make our own resin.
Gotcha.
And actually, my PhD is in epoxies and resins. So that's really something I've worked with for many, many years. We want to move into the resins. And as SLA and SLS printing picks up, we want to move into the powders because that's our expertise, making materials, right? that's not to say that one day maybe we may not go into, you know, more of the distribution of 3D printing parts or printer parts, et cetera, but right now we don't really have any plans for that.
Okay.
And we're focusing just on the materials.
Okay. So there you go.
I'll put this one out there then. How about a competitor to XTC 3D and actually a smoothing product for your printing filaments, since you're the material experts?
Yeah, so actually to that end, I have been thinking about that.
Okay.
I have been thinking, how can we actually, Frank and I every week have brainstorming sessions where we think about just everyday materials. How can we implement them into the 3D printing space and help facilitate or make 3D printing easier and more accessible? So yes, having a smoothing solvent for PLA is something that we've been thinking about, or a filler, or actually what we've been thinking about is making a material that can print that doesn't need a smoothing solvent afterwards, because it prints and doesn't look like it has any layer lines.
There you go.
That's what we want to achieve with our matte colors.
Clause 61821, he says, oh, did you publish full MSDS for your product or censored MSDS? Do you basically put that information online?
Yeah, so actually this is my bad. I don't have it online right now, but we do have SDS sheets and TDS sheets for all of our materials. The TDS sheets are online. The SDS ones aren't, but we will put those online. Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
And just so for you those who do know that material safety data sheets were renamed to SDS a few years ago. So if he starts using that term, it is the new version of MSDS.
Yeah,
interesting
that
that
material off of it.
Clause saying this, yeah, because a lot of the resin manufacturers censor or withhold their MSDS documents, of which are at best are questionably legal. Absolutely.
The reason why they do that, and this is, I personally don't like this, but the reason why they do that is because you have to disclose in SDS what your base materials are. You can try to be very vague, and a lot of companies do that just to try to protect their trade secrets. But the reason why these resin companies don't present their SDS sheets is because the resin is made from one material, and it's very simple. And if they told everyone, I don't know why they don't tell anyone, because everyone knows. I know what it's made of, but even if I know how it's made or what it's made of, I can't make it because I don't have the machine. So I agree, it is very questionable, and I don't think it is legal. But that's why they do that, because they don't want to disclose that one material that they have.
Now, this goes into another question that I've got. We were talking about privately, we were talking about the FDA approval of the different materials that you have, because your PLA, your ABS, and your PETG are all FDA approved.
Yeah.
How did you go about getting all of those different brands? Is it based on the material that you're using or the process of manufacturing? No,
so before we started, this idea Stephanie and I had, and Gerdeman, was in late 2019, early 2020. I spent almost 6 months before we bought any machines or started doing anything exclusively searching for materials. I purposely found materials that are made, or the raw resins that are manufactured to FDA specifications.
Okay.
Now, that being said, it's very important to know that the materials that are printed, that you print with, just because the material is FDA approved, doesn't mean if you use it as a cup or something like that, that it's not going to have any bacteria or not be able to hurt you, like, you know, cause any sort of GI issues, right? Because PLA, all these materials have micropores that you can't see with your eye, and bacteria will grow in them. That's why even if it's FDA approved, you need to either line it with an epoxy to make sure you don't have any of that, or it's a one-time use thing. Just so everyone knows, and there's no false pretenses out there.
That's really good to know.
Don't forget to hit that like button.
Yeah, I was just going to say quickly with the food grade, you know, there's a lot of places that just list the filament as food grade, and people assume that, you know, that means it's good for food, you know, and even for animals. The key is it's not saying that the, you know, there's one thing about FDA approval for a food grade material so that, you know, you can go and sell a product of that material. It's another thing when you're in this FDM process of having these micro bubbled lines together. There are gaps that you cannot clean.
Because this PLA is an injection molding grade PLA.
Okay.
This coffee cup, this is polypropylene, but a lot of the local guys here make the coffee cups lids from PLA.
Oh, okay.
And that's FDA approved. But that's because the injection molding process can be a clean process, and there are no micropores. The processing eliminates that inherently, whereas FDM does not. It inherently creates pores.
Right.
So it's the opposite effect. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, Clause 61 or Accord. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like button, everybody. A huge thank you to the M3D crew for taking the time to answer your questions. You know, it was nice of them. They flew me out here to Victoria, and we had a great time yesterday. We're going to have another busy day today. I've got a lot more B-roll.
We're putting him to work.
I actually packaged up some labeling.
Oh yeah, these ones. He was labeling them yesterday. So if you buy this, it's been packaged by Richard.
And we might do a couple today where it's got our decal
yeah.
on
So
one side.
no, Richard had a great idea. So he wanted to on the back put his decal and sign it by Richard, and I thought that was great. So we're totally doing that today.
Okay, so we're going to do that today. So if you guys happen to get a roll like that, take a picture of it, put it up on our Facebook, or come back and put a picture under the comments down below, and we'll definitely we'll put that into a contest at some point.
Oh yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
We'll do a contest. So Snapshot says, love your product. It's the only filament brand in my home. Thumbs up to you.
Thank you. It's very humbling. Thank you.
A lot of people love the product. It's starting to get that foothold in the marketplace like you guys were hoping it would.
Yeah, we don't advertise.
Yeah.
Our advertising budget is
Zero. Yeah.
Because I'd rather focus on building relationships with people like yourself or the community, and just producing good material, because the material will speak for itself. That's what I truly believe. And
word of mouth.
And word of mouth. We can spend thousands on advertising. We can spend thousands of dollars on advertising and having clickbait that comes up on your Facebook feed or on your Google feed or whatever. But are you really going to believe that? How many times have I bought something off an ad? Never. But if you came and told me, hey, buy this, it's a great product, 9 times out of 10 I will, right? So I'd rather... Stephanie and I and Gerdman and I, that's what we started with. That's what we wanted to do. Advertising is not our forte. It's not even on
your radar right now.
Yeah, no, we don't do any of it. We have a social media presence. We have a Facebook group or a page that we upload pictures in our current events and stuff onto. If you don't know, it's Matter 3D on the it's just /Matter 3D, I think.
Right.
So join up. We have all sorts of new stuff there. No advertising.
Since day one.
Just word of mouth, and me mostly just us phoning people and telling them about what we do and that we want to work with you. And we've had a great response doing that.
And you guys, just so you know, these guys both have regular day jobs. So now they've got not only a company they have to run, which
that we weren't telling. No, Gerdman and I have 9 to 5 jobs, and this started as a side gig, and it's kind of taken over, and it's great.
And that goes a lot, because I know these guys will be in that factory till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, come home, get a couple hours sleep, head off to their normal day job or school. You're taking some classes right now.
Yeah,
right?
I'm in school right now.
You're in school.
We're hustling.
When you're a small company trying to get a foothold in a market that has millions of products in it already from millions of different manufacturers, you can be sure that you're getting a product that A, has had a lot of attention paid to it, B, has a good high quality material, they have a good high quality product, and you're going to get it from people that want to talk to you. Yeah. Unlike, the nameless big companies that if you sent them a letter tomorrow, you may not get an answer for 6 weeks. And if they send you one, can you send me pictures?
Well, I was going to say, if you call the phone number off the website, it comes to my phone.
There you go.
If I can't pick up, it'll go to his phone.
And the number's right on the
Yeah.
screens.
And if he can't pick up, it'll go to Stephanie's phone. Someone will pick up, right? Yeah. So
That's okay. We just reached Linus Tech Tips level there. We got to throw something before the end of the stream, so I think we're good there. See, I was gonna say you shouldn't mention the phone thing because now I'm sure your phone's just gonna start ringing off the moment someone hears that here on the stream. But yeah,
I have no problems. I love talking to people. I always say the biggest thrill of business for me is just to meet new people. Because I would never have met. How would I have met you otherwise?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? How would I have met anyone on the channel or in the community? It's great. That's what I value, and that's what we really work towards.
So you guys can see down at the bottom of the screen, I want to reiterate this. This is only good till midnight tonight. So use that code TFL20 today. Get yourself a couple rolls at 20% off. Get free shipping over $35 and enjoy this product. Really print stuff with it. Photograph those prints. Even if you use your cell phone, just go ahead and photograph the stuff that you're making with this stuff. And you never know. There could be some special surprises down the road. What quality or what quantity of filament is your usual run?
Okay, I just want to answer this question because there's a little bit of trade secrets, and I don't want to say too many things.
I don't want to say too many things.
But I'll put it this way: to be efficient from both the time and monetary perspective, you want to have a larger run than a smaller run.
Right. There you go. So without getting too deep into it, the hour of making filaments, it's roughly in about 25, 30 rolls an hour, right?
It depends on the material.
Okay.
And again, I don't want to get too far into it because everyone is listening and everyone's going to want to know what we do. But we have high production runs, high production machines and low production machines. What sets us apart and allows us to have wholesale pricing and all that is because A, we make all of our own materials in-house, and B, because of our machines and the way they are efficient and how we've made them efficient.
There you go.
So yeah, there's just quickly, there's no efficient way to produce one roll of filament off one color. You're going to spend, either time and effort and all that. There's just not an official, like a good way of making just one at a go, whether you're at a small scale run or you're at a large scale run. So there is volume requirements. That's why they don't have the entire Pantone catalog on their site and say, just pick it and how many you want, because there are batch switchover times.
I wish we could do that.
Yeah, we're not.
Let them advertise on TFL Facebook page. I have friends that do not watch the YouTube, but are part of the Facebook group. Yes, they have carte blanche to advertise whatever they want to advertise on our Facebook group. And if they miss putting it on our Facebook group, I'll usually catch it and I'll put it there. Yesterday was a good example where you had my little comment saying that I made this. So yeah, it's they will always advertise on our page, and when those new products come out, you can guarantee our community is going to be the ones to see them first. So
yeah, no, really appreciate this. Thank you. I honestly, I was also going to say this brown, I really think it's going to be nice for like D&D.
Yeah.
Right? Like, making it when we make stuff, we always think what used for, but this brown and this green I think would be really good for trees, right, and just landscape stuff, right? But yeah, if you guys have suggestions for colors that you think are that you have a high need for, or think that would sell well, or that just might be popular, I guess that's the right word, popular, let us know, suggest it. You never know, we might just make it.
There you go.
Or do a limited run,
So take advantage of that 20% off today. It's only going to last till midnight tonight. So tomorrow, it's not there anymore. But use it today. Get rolls. And look at that. Cam D says, "Hey, I'll order full rolls, just waiting to ship." Look at that.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to try and force this live stream to an end so you can get back to work.
These guys got to eat too.
No, this is great. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. It's food grade PLA. Just go eat right off the line.
There you go. These guys are what make it possible for you guys to have new Canadian-made products. and for your 3D printing needs. And as they grow, of course, their product line is going to grow as well. And we're right along for the ride. We're just hanging on the coattails so we can see it all.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's talking about like happy little
From
trees
us
and stuff.
out
Who
here in
knows?
Victoria, I am going. From us out here in Victoria, I want to say thank you to everybody that was a part of today's live stream. We did run long. We were a little had to get through a couple of technical issues here, but we did it, and I can't thank these guys enough. I can't thank these guys enough for bringing actually what made the product from beginning to end. And like I said, we're going to put together a whole episode just for you guys. Really appreciate you guys all taking part in our live stream. Spread this around, by the way. If you guys are get something out of our video content, and I apologize that there was no episode this week because I got behind. We'll just say that.
They're enjoying the lovely weather out there too. It snowed here, so by comparison, he's having a pretty good time. But we had like an inch of snow the other night, and Richard's flying back, I think, tomorrow morning too. So, yeah.
They had to de-ice the wings of the plane before I left.
Wow.
So I arrive back home tomorrow, so we will see you guys on Friday with that follow-up resin, and then we've had to push a couple episodes back, but then we're going to unveil the Voron in November. We're going to draw another name on Sunday for our next mystery box, and we will get those mystery boxes sent out from October.
I also want to say, go ahead first.
I was just going to say one last thing for everybody here is for those of you in northern United States and around Canada tonight, be sure to look out at the skies because there's quite a big astral event going on. And, maybe buy some of that green PLA from Almond here and start printing your own Aurora Borealis. But until then, tonight, we're going to have I'm telling these guys out in Victoria, especially with the greater views, try and get a view of the sky. It might be quite lovely. Maybe inspire you for your next color.
I just want to say thank you for having us on, and thank you to the community for all your support. Anytime we get an order, I always look at the name and where it's going to, and it means a lot to us. It's just you guys aren't just another order number or just another customer. We recognize each and every one of you, and thank you. And also, I know my wife is watching, so hi, Steph. I love you.
Oh, look who got us.
You think I'm part of the family?
Yeah.
Yes, my friend, you are part of the family.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna nag you to get more pictures of Captain on the Facebook page for the company. There's always a dog behind the business. That's what I always find.
Yeah. Oh well. All right.
There we go. All right, Brian, I'm going to throw it back to you to log out. Thank you, guys, and we will be back in Gary.
Oh, I'm muting myself here. Yeah, I think we've lost him there. Perfect. So I'm going to jump over to solo layout here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. I know you didn't see much of Pirate Brian here, but, I had to reduce the bandwidth going out to Victoria there so we could get the clear audio. So for all of you that are celebrating Halloween tonight, stay safe. Remember to have your headlights on and watch out for kids out there. Make sure you're driving safe and be aware of the little troublemakers out there. Hopefully some of you have 3D printed costumes. Obviously I don't this year, but next year I'm definitely building up a few things. Again, thank you everyone for joining us. Be sure to hit that like button. Throw us some comments below, about today's topic, what you learned about PLA. If there is a color that you've just been itching for that nobody's made or hasn't made it properly, let us know in the comments below because we read those comments. Matter 3D reads those comments. And that's how we've got to today with these product offerings that really line up with what the community is looking for, is because it was inspired by your feedback. So that being said, really, that's kind of it for today. Again, stay safe, everybody. We will have new episodes coming shortly here, as long as Richard's not too jet lagged this week here. And until next time, remember that the first layer is always your foundation to a great print. We'll see you next week.